So we're in Dolores Park.
Beautiful Dolores
Yes,
Park.
in San Francisco.
If only
Give
you were
a little...
here.
I know, we wish you were here. So this is my new friend Gia. We just met like an hour ago, and then we got engaged in an amazing conversation about how she landed 4 interviews with 1 phone call. And so for those of you who are women entrepreneurs or you have your own business, this is going to be an amazing story about how to create opportunities out of thin air. Like, this woman is magical, okay? So I was just like, oh my God, we have to make a video. And so she's totally down. And so here we go. So can you tell us, like, how did you do that?
Honestly, it's one key word: curiosity. Have it, show it, and mean it. Really, you're not looking, when you want to go for an interview, half the time, yeah, you want a job out of it, but half the time, the reason why you go is because you want to learn, right? You want to add a dimension to your character. You want to get something out of it, that even if it doesn't mean a job interview, you're going to get something out of it that will help you somewhere else, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So can you tell us the story of like the man that you met at the conference and just like the curiosity? How did that?
Awesome. So really, it's a circle. So the way it started was approximately 5 years ago. I went to a conference with my university, to University of Sydney, from New Zealand to University of Sydney, and one of the speakers talked about the power of networking, the potential in it. And I just resonated with him. I was like, I looked at him and went, this guy, he makes sense to me. And one of the things he kept saying was, all you gotta do is to call out and ask. Just ask. Just tell somebody that, hey, what you said makes sense. I like it. And at the end of his conversation, or end of his speaking session, I went to him and I said, hey, you make sense to me. I like what you have to say. Will you have coffee with me? That's all I did. We had coffee, and I told him that in 2 to 3 years time, although I live in New Zealand today, 3 years time I see myself in the US. Let's reconnect later, and like, tell me a little bit about what I can do to prepare myself. That was it. Fast forward 3 years later, as I expected, the visa situation worked itself out and I could make myself here. I sent him an email note going, remember me? You told me to hit you up when I was coming here. Here I am hitting you up. And he said, cool, how about I fly you from LA to San Francisco to meet my team? Sounds good. So that was the start of it.
Wow.
That was the start of the first interview. And then, because why would you want something good to end, right? Nobody wants something good to end. So I thought to myself, this is awesome, but what's my method? What's my plan to make this one interview worth it?
Yep.
So I decided that my plan is going to be to tell other people about the fact that I have this opportunity and I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to prepare for it. It's across 7 oceans. It's a 15-hour flight, later.
Yeah.
And I just told a few people about it, and they said, as most people do, let me figure out a way to help you. And one of the best things people came up with was like, I know somebody that might be able to help you. Let me connect you to them. That conversation spouted from one to the other, to the other, to the other, and ended up asking people for advice, going from one phone call going, hey, so I have an interview with XYZ company. I understand you know a bit about them. What can you tell me that'll help me prepare for this interview? Into that conversation, they go, while you're in town, how do you feel about meeting us as well? Same conversation, you go with somebody else. There was a lot of failures. There's like 10 conversations, of which 4 went to me, while you're in town, let's meet up for another interview, or let's meet up for another coffee in person. And that's how it went from one phone call to 4 interviews in the space of 3 days.
Wow, that's incredible. So you said that it was genuine curiosity, right?
Genuine curiosity.
That had you just like follow this, I could say even an intuitive thing, like, oh yeah, I like this person, there's something about them, I'm gonna go talk to them. And then you said something else really great too, is you said you started asking around for help too, like, hey, can you share your perspective about this?
That's it. Like, at the end of the day, you go to anybody. You go to a guy that works around the corner in 7-Eleven, to some person you meet at an, like around an interview, they show you around the office, or you meet somebody like a client of yours. you go to them going, what do you think about this? I guarantee they have something to say.
Yeah.
And if you genuinely show that not only do I want to ask you this, but I want to hear the answer, that's all it takes. That's all it takes.
Yeah. So I love that. There's like this openness that you had. There's this desire to learn, right? And it sounds like people were just like, when they see that sort of quality, they step up and want to help you.
Yep.
And then want to share opportunities with you too, because you didn't ask them, hey, by the way, do you have an opening at your company?
No.
They were like, hey, while you're in town, why don't we just interview you, right?
There you go. It's all about, like, I guess it's two things to it. Every human has two things they love. One, convenience, and two, being able to share what they think.
Oh,
you put those two together.
Yeah.
You put those two together. You go to somebody and go, hey, I want to know what you think.
Yeah.
And B, guess what? I'm going to make it convenient for you to tell me what you think and make something out of it.
Yeah, and then invite me for an interview, because here I am, right? I'm coming to your town.
It's you can take an analogy of a date. You go to somebody and go, hey, guess what? I think you're cute.
Yeah.
And I'm free on Sunday.
Yeah. I love it. I love dating analogies to use towards career and business advancement. So thank you so much, Gia. You are so awesome. You're such a rock star. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye from San Francisco.
Tell me how everything goes. Good luck, guys.
Bye.